Hi guys, let's talk about Guilty. Guilty is one of my favorite songs on this album because the story that inspired it has plagued me for about 2 years before I wrote the song, and so by writing the song it really gave me this amazing outlet. Seriously, it's kind of like when you're struggling with something, with some traumatic event, and it's eating away at you, and you just wish you could explain to the person who's causing you that grief, how they made you feel, or you just want to verbalize it. So before I go into the lyrics, Guilty is about that person in your life, whether you're in a romantic relationship with them, or a friendship, or a family relationship. It's that person in your life that makes you feel guilty for everything you do. And you end up being the one that always has to either apologize or take the first step to try to, salvage the relationship or try to make things better. But they never do. They never come to you. They never take that first step. They always expect you to be the one to apologize. And I've had that person in my life, and that's what the song's about. So let's go into the lyrics. Verse 1. All I ever seem to do is wrong you. Always gonna be the one to blame. Never heeding those who don't conform to your ideals or the world you know. The first two lines I think are pretty self-explanatory. And the other half is, for me, in my situation, that person, they have a certain mindset, an understanding of the world, and when a person doesn't fit that understanding, or when they don't follow their preconceived notions of what the rules are, then they're not even gonna give you a chance. They're not gonna heed you. They're not even gonna give you any sort of understanding. I am here, and I'll say it loud and clear. Oh, like my cat does. In your line of fire, I brave the field and cross it to your door. In your line of fire, I won't be feeling guilty anymore. My story is that I had to over and over make that first step towards that person and be the one with the responsibility to make things right, because they never bothered to. They just needed me to apologize. For me, that's a metaphor for having to cross a minefield to get to them. Always taking the first step, always being the one who had to make himself vulnerable and put himself out there to try to fix things, to try to talk and figure it out. But I'm saying, I'm not going to be doing that anymore, because not only will you reluctantly open the door, you're never even gonna step out to try to reach me. Well, that was very symbolic. Okay, verse 2. Can't you see that I'm not here to serve you? Can't you see that I'm here for me? Lose your mind whenever I defy you. I am not the child who lived in fear. In my case, that person was a family member that, because of their position in the family, sort of they held the control, they held the power, sort of to keep everything in control. And when that person saw that someone like me didn't adhere to their sense of control, to their sense of how the world works, essentially, as I said before, they lost it. And not to mention that because of the age difference and the position difference within the family, the older person should never be the one to apologize. I mean, it's always the younger person's responsibility to apologize because they were rude or whatever bullshit. And then I say, I held back, but I won't be here for the next attack. Like, you're sitting there expecting me to apologize for you. Well, guess what? I'm not gonna be here next time you want to attack me, because you're doing nothing to try to solve this. You just want me to come and apologize. You're making me the guilty one again, and this is not gonna work. In your line of fire, I strip my pride and leave it by your door. in your line of fire, in your line of fire, I won't be holding tears back anymore. You know, in this process of having to come to them and knock on their door and taking that first step, you are, you know, essentially when you do it over and over again, it eats at your dignity, and I've been okay with that. I've been sort of allowing that to happen for years, but I'm saying here to you now, I'm not gonna continue doing this. And the bridge, and I know that blood will tie us together forever. I know. But I can decide who gets to stay in my life. And guess what? You're not one of them. When you've put me through so much in my life, you've never showed me once that you care about this relationship enough to make yourself vulnerable and to take a step towards me. I was always the one that had to brave that field and leave my pride by the door. You never did that for me. And the song is about reclaiming your not autonomy, but I wanted to say reclaiming your pride, but it's not about pride, because at this point I'm a master of putting my pride away. So it's about just reclaiming your position in this relationship, again, whatever relationship it may be, and saying, you're not going to make me feel guilty anymore, and I'm not going to feel guilty over for making this decision that you're not going to be in my life anymore. That was a mouthful, I'm sorry. But in terms of production, the song was a lot of fun, not least because Eric St. Laurent is on it. He is an amazing, amazing guitar player. When I came to Dima's studio and we started working, and I played that intro melody, and I said, you know, I can really hear this melody being played by guitar as a solo. And Dima immediately said, we're gonna call Eric. And he called Eric, and he came. He's a really talented artist, and he's really down to earth. He was a really cool guy, and that whole session was just a lot of fun. So every time I listen to the song, kind of similar with Lionheart, the story behind it was quite dark and it caused me a lot of grief, but when I hear the song now, I hear strength, not only in my voice but in the production, and we did that on purpose. And I hope that if you've gone through something similar, or if you're going through something similar, that you can draw from that strength. Not that this is not to say that I urge you to just like tear apart your relationships because you feel like you're whatever. Like the last thing that I will ever recommend to anyone is to cancel somebody, or to just run away from them, or turn your back on them because they're toxic. It's just that, like, for me, with this song, it's about me feeling guilty and not wanting to feel this way anymore. So this is Guilty. I hope that you like the song as much as I do, and thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.